Hi friends, welcome to episode 79 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha and you can find me anywhere online as Nadiratani. Thank you so much for coming to spend some time with me today. Today is Thursday, April 4th. Let's go with that. Thursday, April 4th, and I'm coming to you from my home in Central Florida. I'm expecting that this is not going to be a super long episode, fingers crossed that I don't talk a whole lot because I've got other things I need to do today. Yes, we don't have anything for admin. Let's get into the crafting, shall we? I feel like I forgot to say something at the beginning, but hey ho, what do you know? Finished objects. The first finished object that I want to show you guys is my refuse to sink bag. So last episode I showed you the fabric that I had embroidered in the embroidery class I took, or the machine embroidery class. This was not done by hand. I'm not that amazing. It's fine. But I went ahead and made it into a bag. It currently has one of my works in progress living in it. So I did a lining with this, what was this, a fat quarter that I had gotten. Typically in the bags that you'll see in my shop, I do white innards, white lining, just to keep it bright so that when you look in your project bag, you're not like, you know, nice, bright, airy, you can see what's in there. But when I do bags for myself, I use up scraps, I use up fabric that I bought that I don't think I'll really use for anything else. I just put it together. So that's the inside. I pulled one of the zippers from my stash. It's got a little handle. Somehow I managed to, I don't even know what happened. It got folded when I sewed it in, and then I was just like, nah, it's fine. But yes, that's a finished object. I will talk about the work in progress that's in here, as well as this little pin in stash positions. My other work in progress, you can't even see right now. Couple episodes back, I was talking about how I wanted to do an art lock and basically, excuse me, and basically incorporate fiber and wool into my favorite lock, and I did it. I posted a sped up video of the process on Instagram, so I'll see if I can insert that video here so that you can see it. If not, it's on Instagram. But where is it? There it is. Oh, just there it is. So here is my art lock, and there is a mix. Yeah, there's a mix of wool, I think alpaca, yeah. So the green that you see is the one that I think is alpaca. The bright blue right there is from this bat, which I want to say it was just wool. I'm not sure what breed, but I got this from Fiber Artworks in Huntsville, Alabama, like years ago. So, and I didn't write down what the blend was, if it was a blend, when I made the bat at the shop. But that's what this bright blue is. And then there is that like pale sky blue kind of color, is another woolish, like wool blendy kind of fiber that I got from, I can never remember the name of this store. It's in Odessa, Florida, and I got it a couple years ago. Let me jump on Instagram and find the name for you guys, just in case you find yourself in Odessa, Florida, you can go visit it. Fiber Art Gallery. That's fun. So one of the blue yarns is from Fiber Art Works. The other blue yarn is from Fiber Art Gallery. And the green yarn, the one that I think is the alpaca, is from Barn Yarn. Well, the used to be Barn Yarn in Claremont, Florida. That one has closed. But yeah, so that's my art lock. It was about an inch longer, which I didn't like, and initially I was just going to cut the extra off because it was so much longer than the rest of my locks. So what I did instead, because, you know, thinking, because this is just regular wool, it will felt. So I just like dunked the bottom like 2 inches of the lock in some water, folded it in half, and then just went to town. Kind of like how you spit splice like natural fibers together. So I just kept doing that and felted the end. That's really it. When I maintain my locks, I palm roll them like to tighten the roots. Like, as you guys may notice, it's not as big and fluffy as it normally is because I did just retwist them. But I am palm rolling, and I will just do like some extra palm rolling on this one because it does have the extra fibers and stuff in it. And yeah, so you just, and that's it. I tried to keep it in kind of a gradient order, so it starts out with the green and then goes to the medium light blue and then into the darker blue, and then I was kind of just adding pieces in where I wanted. So I love it. I think this is by far the craziest thing that I've done with my hair, but I'm super excited that I actually went through and did it. Yay! I've been calling it my Mermaid Loc. So yes, those are my 2 finished objects, and we'll jump on into works in progress. So the first work in progress that I want to show you guys is the one that's in my Refuse to Sink bag, and this is my Main Star Shawl by Zakia of Ladywing Designs and the Ladywing Crafts podcast. I think last episode when I showed it, I had just started the second skein, and you can see like this is second skein town. But the yarn is a hand spun by Jade of the So Perfect Purls podcast, and the fiber is hobbledehoy fibers in the vintage bloom. And I didn't have this card with me last time, so I didn't know the blend, but what it is organic Polworth, soy silk, tinsel, bamboo, and sparkle. And the original braid or fiber prep was 4.3 ounces. So there she is. There is ball 2. So ball 2 started out with, or is heavily pink. I thought about alternating the skeins in, but it still would have given me like a huge chunk of pink anyway. So I was just like, meh, it's fine. And I'm just trucking right along with it. Oh, that's the back side. Yeah, it doesn't look any different from back to front, but I think this is gonna be great when I finish it, right? Whenever that is, in years and years. Actually, I'm doing pretty good with how fast I am working this. It's not taking me hugely long, but putting this around my neck just now, I'm gonna have to, like, when I block it, put some hair conditioner in it or something, because it's a little bit scratchy for my little baby neck. So yeah, that's it with that. And I'm not going to show this one for a couple more weeks, so the next time you see it, it'll have like a chunk of completion, a chunk of progress on it, instead of just meep, meep, meep. You know what I mean? So yes, I casted on another pair of socks because Lamar, my husband, works at Universal part-time, so they give their employees tickets when they have special things. And right now, actually ending today, they had Mardi Gras over at Universal, so he had special ticket for Mardi Gras, so we went, and we went after we got off work yesterday, which was really cool to be able to go to a theme park like in the evening. Like, we're just gonna go for just the last couple of hours that it's open because we can, instead of being like, these tickets cost a lot of money, we gonna be there when they open the doors and we're not leaving until they kick us out, which is generally how we do theme parks. But I wanted to have my walking project, so I cast on a new sock. And it's a vanilla sock, so all knit. It's 2.25 millimeter needles, that's a US 1, and 64 stitches. So here's what it looks like. Ba-bam! Isn't it pretty? So the yarn for the body was a gift from Jennifer, also known as Yarn Tripping. It's 3 Irish girls, I wrote this down, 3 Irish girls in the Adorn Luxe base. So it's 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and the color is called Man on the Moon. So, you know, I would love that spacey name, but then also like this bright rainbow is really pretty. And every time I get to this section right here between the green and the blue, these are like my favorite stitches because they're just, I love that color so much. But the yarn that I used for the cuff is leftovers. This was the very first hand-dyed yarn that I bought. And it's actually the stash position in my first ever episode of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. Fun fact. But this is from Yarn Cafe Creations, and it's called Dance With Me Beast. I don't remember the blend. I want to say it was 75-25, but I don't remember. But yeah, I have just enough to do the cuffs. So the cuffs will be in this yellow. The minis that she gave me, this is how much they are. It's about 25 grams each of the minis. So I'll have enough to do the body. And then I'm going to use this for the heels and toes. And this is Knit Pick Stroll in the Sour Apple colorway, I think. I think it's Sour Apple. But yeah. And I think I have enough for heels and toes. I'm going to reweigh this just to make sure. But yes. Oh, there's a paper in there that's going to change the weight. Why did I do that? The last work in progress that I have comes with the struggle story. Oh my gosh. Like, it's living in this bag. This is a purse that I made last year, I think, but I just chucked it in here. And I am working with Red Heart Super Saver in the gold colorway. I am making the Heights sweater. It's called the Heights Crochet Sweater by The Dream Crochet. It is a, like when you look at it, a very simple, straightforward, like pullover short sleeve sweater, right? There's some texture on it that you can see in the picture. So I was like, okay. It was like it's a pretty simple construction, right? So I was thinking, this is the same designer who did my Grinch sweater, who did the Grinch sweater that I want to make. So what I decided was I was going to start out with another one of her patterns, like one that's more simple, so that I can like get used to her writing style, which is something I was talking about a couple episodes back, was how I like to, if a designer has free patterns, I will work their free patterns before I do paid patterns, just so that I can see if the way that they write, if I understand the way that they write, right? And to be completely honest, I really wish that she would have had like a free pattern or something like that, so that I could see how she writes, because when I tell y'all, I was like, what? Huh? And I am not a new crocheter at all. Like, I've been crocheting since I was like 14 maybe. So that is about half of my life I have been crocheting. And actually no, it was younger than 14. However old you are in 7th grade. Yeah, so it might have been like 12. Whatever. That's not the point. The point is, I'm not a new crocheter. Like, I don't get thrown by like techniques or stuff like that. Like, so when I'm going through this pattern and I'm just like these were the faces that I was having. It was just kind of frustrating for me, because as a pattern follower, I like to know that like what you're telling me is exactly what I'm supposed to do. Like, I don't want to have to guess things. And there was a lot left to be like to guess and to fill. There were a lot of gaps that I had to fill in this pattern. One of the things that caused me a lot of frustration was that she didn't put any gauge information. So once I finish this sweater, which I'm gonna finish it, this pattern will not triumph over me. No. But once I finish this sweater, I am gonna put the gauge information on Ravelry. I'm gonna make sure to do project pages for all 3 of the patterns that I have of her, because I couldn't find like any finished objects of this pattern online, which is really strange. But not really strange. It's almost like, you know how sometimes you buy a pattern but then you don't make it. You bought it because you were excited about it, but then you didn't make it. It almost feels like that may be what has happened, because when I looked up like her hashtags, the name of the sweater, things like that, the only things that were coming up were her projects. So that is another thing for like those of us who are following other people's patterns. It is so important to like, if you are making somebody's pattern, to post about it. Like, post about it on Instagram, like do the hashtag with the pattern's title, so that somebody else who's looking to make that same pattern can find what you have done. And if you ran into anything, or if you had any tips on how to make the pattern, and how to like just any information, it's really good for other people to be able to have access to that, which is why Ravelry project pages are really good. But I'm terrible at keeping track of my project pages and keeping them up to date. But for these patterns, and I have 3 of her patterns, for these I'm definitely going to do that. So I'll be adding them to Ravelry when as I finish them. So let me show you what I have so far. And it doesn't even look like anything, because I got to like here. So I have gotten, and it's leaning to the side, which I'm not sure why it's doing. I'm just gonna block it, it's fine. I've gotten a couple rows past the armhole shaping. So let me just skew it the other way. Maybe it's the half double crochets, they skew to the side, I think. So it would be kind of here-ish. And I stopped here because I ran into a hiccup with the pattern, so I'm definitely going to reach out to her and see if she can help me through this particular part of the pattern with going forward. I probably could figure it out from the pictures, but I don't want to do that. I want to follow your pattern. But yeah, I would say if you are a new crocheter, like there's like, she doesn't give like stitch counts. It's all worked off of your measurement. So there aren't any stitch counts. Like I said, there isn't a gauge information. Like there's no gauge information. So and then like little things like how many turning chains she wants you to do at the end of the rows, that's not in there. But if you are a seasoned crocheter, you know typically when you do a row of half double crochets, typically you do one or two turning chains. So I'm not like, oh, you should have put it in there. But if I was an absolute beginner, I would have been completely lost. So yeah. I think looking at the pictures of this sweater, it's a really cute sweater. I'm really excited to have it. I think it will look really nice with skirts and just be like something nice to just throw on. Plus, I love this color. So yeah. Part of me wants to frog this and start over because I think it's going to be too short. So if the armholes, like this is my armpit right here, if the armhole starts about here, this is the bottom, this is the chain edge, and this is my belly button. And as I have said before, I'm not really a crop top kind of girl. So at first I thought about ripping it out and starting over again. And then I was like, well, I could just finish the whole top and then put like ribbing on the bottom. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. So I think this is going to be put in timeout until I can figure out what I actually want to do. But yeah. You know how some projects are process projects, like you like the process of creating that thing, and some are just product, like I'm gonna get through this so I get the end product. That's where I am with this. And I'm really hoping that the other two patterns will be more clear, because the height sweater is one of her very early designs. So, you know, that could be the problem. It could have just been like super like early into her design career, and I'm working my way up to doing that Grinch sweater. And y'all, if you were following, if you were saw the episode where I was talking about getting that Grinch sweater pattern, you know how excited I was. Like, y'all can see, like, I am a fan. It's April and I am rocking Mr. Grinch because he's my favorite. But yeah, so I'm working my way up to that Grinch sweater, and I really hope that by the time I get finished with this one, and then I have one other pattern of hers, when I finish that, when I get to the Grinch sweater, I will understand how she writes and how she organizes the process of creating these pieces. Because, you know, everybody processes differently. And I think that is one thing that's very important as someone who wants to get more into designing, to really think about are the steps that I'm putting in this pattern, are they clear? Are they concise? Are they understandable without follow-up? If someone has never spoken to me or had any kind of interaction with me to see how I speak, would they be able to follow this? Just things like that. If someone is like new to the craft and I'm explaining how to do a particular stitch or a particular technique, have I explained it clearly enough for them to follow it? Can my instructions stand alone without a picture? That's something that I think about a lot. Like if I'm telling you how to do something, knowing that I'm a visual person, I know that it would be easier to just be like, to take a picture and be like, do this. But then at the same time, sometimes you look at a picture and you're like, I don't really understand what you're doing. So I want my instructions whenever I write a pattern to be clear and understandable and concise enough for you to be able to do whatever the technique is without a picture. Yeah. And that way, any pictures or video techniques or anything like that will just be icing on that instructional cake. But yeah. So, the height sweater, guys. Yeah. That one took me on the struggle bus, y'all. But I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. In a couple weeks, probably not in a couple weeks, because in a couple weeks it'll be like blazing hot summer, and even though it is a short sleeve sweater, may not be able to podcast in that in Florida. Or maybe I'll do an inside podcast and wear it. There we go. So let's go on to maker plans. Now, along the same lines of getting into pattern writing, well, I shouldn't say getting into pattern writing because I have 2 patterns. So along the same lines of sharing patterns that I have written, I have finally kicked myself in the butt and sent my Gemini shawl out for testing. So it is to my testers. They have confirmed that they received them. At least 2 of my testers who sent me their information have confirmed that they've received the pattern and they're picking out their colors. But if you are new and you haven't seen the Gemini shawl before, here it is. This is one of my shawls that are going to be in my Winter Night Sky collection. So none of my ends are woven in because there is a tale of sadness and woe. Which side is? It's this side. Is this bleeding already? I can't. No, it's this side. So the yarns that I used in this is actually a super pale yellow called Corn Silk. It's by Birch Hollow Fibers. This is Frank Ochre. Yes, by Malabrigo. Yes. And this is Crumble by Madeline Tosh. Now, the tale of woe, which I'll just tell you real quick, is I crocheted, who was first? This side. This side was first. I crocheted this whole section, actually this whole side, and then I got over here and I remembered that Madeline Tosh, like the deeper colorways, like the reds, have a reputation for bleeding like a victim. And so I got a couple rows into this and I thought about that and I was like, no, we can't have that. So I ripped this out and set the red yarn. I just like heated up some water with some vinegar in it and set that yarn in to basically cook longer to lock in that color. But since I had already finished this whole wing, I did not frog this. So the plan is for me to go back and frog it so that I can actually block it out. But yeah, so if I were to dunk this into water, this red would bleed all over this cream. I'm not about that. So that's why there's no ends woven in. That's why, like, that's my tail of woe. Anyway, I'm just like dangling it around. But this is Gemini. It is a, how do you say this word? Trapezoidal shaped shawl. It's made in halves. So you do this half, and then you do this half, and then you join them. It is called Gemini because it is based off of one of my favorite constellations, Gemini. The sections of the shawl that you work through reflect the different points in the story, like the myth and the story of the Gemini twins, which I'm super proud of. I love it. I just have so much, like, this shawl brings me so much joy just thinking about the fact that it's not just a shawl, right? That it's a story piece. So yeah, sent it off to testers, and I cannot wait to see them get started. My goal, if my testers are able, is to have this out at the beginning of June, which is right in the middle of Gemini season. And it's a fingering weight shawl, of course, obviously three color fingering weight shawl, crochet. It's very light. As you can see, it's not very deep, so you don't have, like, you can wear it over your shoulders and it's not going to make you too hot in the summer. But of course, for those summer nights or those walks along the beach where you need just a little bit of something to cover up your shoulders as you look out onto the waves as they're crashing into the shore. I don't know what's going on with me today, guys. I'm just a little bit excited about this shawl, just a little. But yeah, so it's out to testers, and so that we have more. Hi, Kiva. Do you want to come say hi? What? You want to go inside? Use your words. You want to come sit down? Come on. Oh, okay. It's Kiva, guys. Since they are testing it, I will be doing a second Gemini. So let me show you. Did I even bring the colors out here? No. So I'm going to put up a picture of the colors that I'm going to do for my second Gemini. One of the design elements of the Gemini shawl is how you choose the colors. So color 1 and 2, okay, color 1 and 2, here and here, these represent the twins, Castor and Pollux. Color 3 here represents death. So the way that I am suggesting that you choose your colors, now you can do whatever you want because you're probably a grown-up, but my suggestion is to use either 2 colors in the same color family, like I have a rich yellow and then a pale yellow, and then a third color that like contrasts very strongly with them, or you can use 2 colors of the same saturation. So in my second one, yes. In my second Gemini, I'm using a blue and a purple, and they're about the same like saturation as far as how rich the color is. And then my death color is the speckled. So you'll have the 2 rich colors and then the speckle going here. So you can do it like that. Either 2 colors of the same color family where one is considerably darker than the other, or 2 different colors of the same saturation. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to figure out a way to word that in the pattern clearly and concisely. But of course, you can choose whatever kind of colors that you want to do. And just bear in mind that this is how they interact with each other. So yeah, that is my only maker plan, is starting Gemini number 2. I'm really excited about it. The purple yarn that you saw in the picture, I actually dyed up myself. I wanted to use that particular speckle. The speckle was a birthday gift from Tina? Yes, Tina. And so thanks, Tina. The blue was one that I bought. I think I bought that at the Barn Yarn a while ago. And of course the purple is one that I dyed actually this morning. Actually, as we speak, it is simmering on the stove. So when I finish this, I'll be rinsing that and sitting it out in the sun to dry. So yeah, I'm really excited to start this again. Because I'm trying to stay on this motivation of getting these patterns out, because if you guys could see my notebooks, I have so many patterns that I have written, like actually written up, that all I have to do is like type them and get them formatted and then get them tested, and I can release them to you guys. So I need to like stay on this motivation of doing what it is I actually want to do, and stop like second guessing and doubting myself, which is something that I unfortunately do a lot. So yes, if you remember, I don't know if it was January or in December that I was saying I was working on a sock pattern called the El Tannen socks, and that pattern has been tested. It's all written up. All I have to do now is get the formatting. My testers found no errors in the pattern. I've gone through it a number of times for grammar and editing. So I just need to like take final pictures of the socks and put that baby up on Ravelry. I had told myself that I was going to have it done by my birthday, which was 2 months ago, so obviously I missed that deadline. But yeah, so motivation, guys, motivation. The next section is stash positions, which the first thing I was going to talk about was the hand-dyed yarn that is currently cooking on the stove. So we have that, which is coming into my stash. Hopefully it will come into the stash, get a picture taken, and immediately get caked up to start Gemini 2. The second stash position that I got is actually a pin from BrownGyrlKnits. What did I do with the... Here's the back that it came on. So I don't know why I hold things up to my iPad like it's gonna focus. It's not. Kalisha. But this is the pin, and it is a brown girl. She has a head wrap on that's actually like yarn, and her earrings are yarn balls, and then she has 2 knitting needles like in her head wrap. And I saw this. Good old Instagram didn't like show me the actual post because I follow BrownGyrlKnits, and I saw it on Nerdbird Makery in her story. And she was like, "Oh guys, look at this," and I saw it and I was like, "Oh my gosh," and I went and I bought it. And then I messaged Tao of Nerdbird, and I was like, "Yep, I saw it, I went, I bought it." Like, I'm not about that getting carjacked life. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Like, get in, get what you need, get out. Put them blinders on, focus, man. So that's how she came to live with me. And she's just been living on my refuse to sink bag for like the past week and a half-ish since I got her. But yes, I am loving that pin. I'm loving all of the different things that are coming up with representational imagery. That just does my heart good. the other thing that I have for stash positions are some Rolags for spinning. So when I pulled the fiber out for my art lock, I was like combing the fiber out so that I could get it to a good consistency to wrap around my hair. And when I did that, I ended up with a whole lot more fiber in these colors than I needed to actually wrap my one lock. I probably could have wrapped half of my head with the amount of fiber that I pulled out, because I'm terrible at judging things. So instead of just like piling it all back into the bag of fiber, I decided to create a set of Rolags. And what I'm gonna do is spin them. I'm not sure how I'm gonna spin them, like if I'm gonna spin them. So here they are. Ta-da! Da-da-da-da-da! I'm not sure how I'm gonna spin them, like if I'm going to spin them like, this will be easier if I just showed you. If I'm going to spin them like this, so that the yarn would go light blue, dark blue, green, light blue, dark blue, green, or if I'm gonna spin them like this, so that it kind of goes in and out. I'm gonna spin them like this, so that it goes in and out kind of like waves. And I think that would be really cool. I'm also not sure, because this is all I have. I weighed it, it's 8 grams. I am not sure how much like yarn that's going to yield me. So what I think I'm gonna do, and this is one of those times where Kalisha is making this up right now, I'm going to spin them like in the wave format, and then I'm gonna leave it as singles, I think, and then I'm going to weave with it. I think that's what's gonna happen. I'm really excited about this, guys. Like, these are really pretty. I'm very proud of myself. Like, myself and my little dog slicker combs. Ta-da! And then, so, okay, so you guys can see. There we go. But yeah, that's everything for maker plans. I don't have any, or not maker plans, that's everything for stash positions. I don't have anything for life and whatnot. The only thing of excite that I have done over the past week was go to Universal last night. And I rode in the front of 2 roller coasters, which I normally don't ride in the front, but I guess yesterday was the day for me to ride in the front, because we went and did a single rider for everything pretty much, which if you're willing to split up your party and just ride somewhere on the ride, the single rider line is the way to go. Pro tip. So, and I also don't have anything for black fibers, black threads this week. There were some things that I came across, but I want to do some more reading up on them before I share them out with you guys. So keep your eyes and ears open for upcoming black fibers, black threads. But the last little portion of this podcast is going to be about Quirky Monday Crafts, which is my Etsy shop where I sell zipper bags. Ta-da! That was very concise. Good job, Kalisha. So I had these bags, I've had these bags cut out for like 3 weeks. And I was like working on them. I was like, bet, I'm gonna get these done so I can have them up in the shop, get them out, you know, it's all good. Got everything cut out, and then I looked and realized I did not, like, I had just run out of my labels. So I had to reorder the labels. They finally come in, and I start working up. This is about 2/3 of the bags that are gonna go in the shop. Fingers crossed, I will have them in the shop by Friday, which is the day that you guys are watching this, on the 5th. If they don't go up Friday, I'm gonna just put them in as soon as I can. So they may go up in the middle of the week. I don't know, keep your eyes open. If you're following me on Instagram, you'll get a heads up. But this is about 2/3 of the bags. I have some other ones that need to be sewn together. But But the reason that they are not finished, because they have been sitting in this state for like a week, I realized I had gotten my new tags in, got them ready to go into the bags, and then I was making the bags for the Pisces season make-along winners. And I looked, and lo and behold, I was out of the lobster clasp that I put the wristy bits on. Normally with all of my bags that go into my shop, the wrist strap is removable. So I know some people don't want to like carry their bag around on their wrist all the time. So having a removable strap is handy, and then you can also like remove it, use it as like use it on your keys, do whatever you want to do. But I attached them with like little lobster clasps, and I realized that I had 4 left, and I had 4 bags to do for the Pisces season make along. So I went ahead and used those 4 on those. Then I had to reorder some from Amazon, and they just got here today. So there might be bags in the shop on Friday. There might not. We don't know yet. I'm gonna try my best. But I wanted to show you the patterns that are gonna be going in, the fabrics rather. So we have llamas or alpacas. I don't know the difference. Somebody down below tell me the difference between a llama and an alpaca, because I honestly, I just don't feel like Googling right now. I wanted to stay with like springtime colors, and like springtimey kind of fabrics. So, you know, trying to have some kind of theme. But yeah. Oh, and then this one goes with this one. So those are the small size, and then I have some large ones going in as well. Now these, like I said, these are about 2/3 of the bags that I have ready to go into the shop. It's about, there's still some left in the room that have to be created. I love this fabric. Look at that. Look at the little girl and the bunny. So cute. So cute. We got that one. Oops, sorry, sun. And then these are the last 2 that we have currently. So I'm going to finish up all of those bags that are to that level of doneness and get those up in the shop, and then I'm going to start on the other set. It's basically all the same fabrics, just different color contrast fabric at the bottom. Yeah, so hopefully everybody that wants a bag can get a bag. I definitely recommend following me on Instagram, because when I upload them, I always put a picture ahead on Instagram to let you guys know that an update is coming. I have been updating on Friday, like Friday afternoon or Friday evening at 7. Let me know if another time will be better, or another time will be easier for you. I am only shipping in the States right now. Hopefully as my little endeavor grows, I'll be able to offer international shipping, but that isn't something that I offer right now. But yeah, that's everything, guys. Yes. So thank you guys for spending time with me today. I hope that you enjoyed the projects that I shared. Wish me luck as I dive back into that Heights sweater. I really, really want the finished project, so I have to muscle through that pattern. And keep your eyes open for Gemini, as that will be coming out in June. I'm really excited. Also, keep your eyes open for any other pattern releases that I might have up my sleeve, such as El Tannen. And I do have another sock pattern that I'm planning to release as a free pattern. So keep your eyes open for those goodies. Yes. Thank you so much for being a part of my universe. Leave a comment down below of something good that happened to you. If you want me to share it in the Bright Spots segment, let me know that it is a shareable comment, and you could be one of the ones that I share in Bright Spots. So from me, Mr. Grinch, and Max. Have a wonderful day, weekend, night, whatever it is when you're watching this. Again, thanks for being part of my universe. Bye, friends.